Good morning, everybody. Garrett Anderson, the Marketing Director for Contract Furnishings Mart, here with you again on a Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in to our webinar series. Today we're talking more cabinetry. Last go around we didn't get a chance to dive into all the storage features we really wanted to show off. So we're here in our Tigered kitchen that was recently updated earlier this year. Have my good friend Shane Beck, he's our cabinetry manager out of our Tacoma store with us. And just wanted to talk a little bit about more cabinetry and show off some of these different design and storage options. So take it away.
Thanks, Garrett. And honestly, in case you didn't know, CFM does sell cabinets. And honestly, we have an incredible team of professional designers. We're growing as a segment within CFM. So really, we just wanted to take the opportunity here in our Tigered showroom to show you some of the cool things that we can do with cabinets and really what we can do to make customers' lives just better on a daily basis. So what we're going to do is just kind of take a look at some of the fun things that we have going on here. What you'll notice on this tall cabinet is there's a bunch of different rollout shelves or rollout trays. What we're showing here is the different varieties that you can get in those rollouts. There's different options. This is a Belmonte cabinet, which is one of our flagship brands of cabinets. You can get wood shelves, you can get different heights, but really it's about what functions well for you and what type of storage needs do you have.
Right, it's not all about just design aesthetics, it's really making the space as functional as possible. So exactly. like when we're designing kitchens or spaces, it's not necessarily like let's redo the entire layout, it's let's make this more customized to your needs, right?
Right, exactly. And one thing that we really try to focus on is what are each individual customer's needs, what are their lifestyles, what can we do to improve how they live and work and function in that space. So for example, we've got the storage options. One really neat thing that we have here on the cabinet above the fridge is we have baking pan dividers, cookie sheet dividers, so that you got a nice storage spot for it that you can still easily access. I'm not the tallest guy in the world and I can still get up here and reach it. But maybe you don't have a ton of baking pans and you want still more storage space above the fridge. So we've got that as an option for you.
And I like that this is built out to just about the depth of the refrigerator too.
Yeah, so one really neat thing that Garrett just mentioned is that we have a deeper depth. Yeah. And if I could have you come around and show this.
Because I really like how that's built in.
Yeah. So this refrigerator enclosure is 27 inches deep compared to a standard 24-inch depth cabinet. And what that does is it brings this out to give it a much deeper or much richer built-in look for it. And it also allows us to terminate the countertop at the panel and really makes that easy.
Yeah, very clean here instead of trying to work something back.
And since we're right here, I want to show you my favorite cabinet. This is new. It's about a year and a half old. It is a canister and knife block cabinet. This is a great way to declutter your countertops, to get everything off.
I can do this all day.
Now this is, it goes in really nice. One of the neat things about this is that it's easy to clean. So you can just reach in and pull this bad boy out. So if you need to wash this because maybe it gets dirty, you just take this and literally put it right in the dishwasher and run a dishwasher cycle so that you can clean this and that it stays nice and clean.
Very cool. Yeah, I like just how easy everything is to access in there, and it's not taking up countertop space either.
Right. Traditionally, you would put this right next to a range so that it's in that work area where you're going to have utensils and knives. Here in our showroom, we don't have a range because it's just a break room. But one cool thing here with the sink-based cabinet is we have organization on the doors so that you can store any cleaning supplies, things like that.
And even just this mat down here, how much spill or water does that hold?
Honestly, you'd be amazed. It holds about 1.5 liters of water.
Just that little mat. It's not like deep pockets or anything.
No, it's just the dimples and the depressions in there. So what that gives you is the ability, if you have a small water leak, it'll help protect your cabinets and keep that from flooding and destroying your cabinets.
Very cool. And we'll get to where the garbage cans are in a little bit, but just having this whole open space and utilizing it a little bit better with those the door storages, I think that is really nice.
Right. You know, one of the most challenging things with cabinets is a 3-inch increment of space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have a small 3-inch spot left over, really there's not a whole lot you can do with it. But one of the neat cabinets that we have is a skinny 3-inch spice cabinet. You know, this is great for those Safeway size spices. You know, you're not going to put a big Costco size in here, but you know, if you have 3 inches of space that you need to find a function for, we've got a solution for you.
And you don't have to only put salt and pepper in here.
Right.
I think we could probably expand our taste a little bit at some point. Now, corners can be a tricky use of space too. Never want to just waste that space. So there's a lot of different options with, you know, kidney pull-outs or lazy Susans. Why don't you show what we have in this corner here?
Yeah, so this is our Super Susan cabinet. Probably the distinctive feature here is that there's 2 independent turnstiles, whereas there's not a pole in the middle where both run at the same time. So what you'll see is the turnstile will spin nicely on the inside, and then that can function independently from the other turnstile.
Very cool.
One of the neat wall cabinets that we have is a vertical lift wall cabinet. You'll see these really often in contemporary styling, but you can do it in a transitional styling like we're showing here, where the cabinet just lifts up vertically, and you can use it to store any different thing. But it's more of a look and a function. You know, there's different types of pivots. There's ones that pivot up more like a traditional garage door. This one that goes straight up. It's just a nice use of space, and it's typically more of a design aesthetic on why you would choose this type of a door compared to a more traditional 2-door style. Right.
And yeah, you mentioned the more modern styling. I definitely see that with, you know, your high gloss white cabinetry, right. Ultra modern and flipping up like that.
Yeah, and you know, a little bit later in this video, we'll talk about some different styling that we're showing here.
Right.
But right now, we're just going to finish out with the function.
Sure.
You know, one of the nice things about what we can do with drawers is we can really show, you know, that we have different options. So really, this goes into personalizing the space for you and the customer, and making sure that we really dial in your needs. So, you know, if your lifestyle and your cooking or your storage options, and you really want a division here, you know, we've got a nice little divisible drawer insert that you can use to help keep yourself organized.
And you can move those all around. So
yeah.
You're not set to just this layout. You just have a couple pegs, and that kind of guides where that divider holds.
Exactly. So they're peggable, so you can truly get a full custom fit for all of your storage needs.
Interesting. Another one that I really like is this guy down here. So you have actually individual containers with lids,
right?
Instead of just the open dividers.
Mm-hmm. No, this is great. You know, we're showing it here with some packaged goods, but these lid containers are really good for you know, flour, sugar.
Those regular baking things.
Right.
That's really cool. Don't show my wife; she would want me to redo her kitchen.
You know, honestly, those are great. You know, especially for the Costco shopper that gets a 100-pound bag of rice, and it's just an awkward place to store it. You can use those containers to store that nice and neat and really tuck it away.
Now, let's take a look at these open glass doors up top, because you have something really cool in the back. Shiplap's still very popular, so we decided to incorporate a unique color that helps with the overall design flow of this space. But tell us a little bit more about that and how it's used.
Yeah, you know, I mean, probably the neatest spot here that we've got is that pop of color, like you were mentioning, Garrett, where really you can, you know, have a nice space where, you know, maybe you're not loud with your color, but you've got a spot here to really shine. You know, and this is a factory done product where we get it from the factory like this. It's not an assemble in the field product. You know, so we can do a factory custom back color.
So that whole box comes like that?
Yeah, so completely assembled directly from the factory.
Very cool. And then we also have a little hidden drawer over here, which I think is kind of cool. If you don't want to see some stuff on your countertop, you don't want to have the doors and everything in the way, that just opens and slides right back.
Right. And it gives you a really nice ability here to function with it and to get those doors out of the way. Usually this would be most often in a baking center cabinet, where you would typically pair this with a mixer, a KitchenAid mixer,
right.
pull up. And those are some things where we can really customize to the lifestyle. If you do a lot of baking, we have solutions to really address your needs.
Very cool. And then, of course, huge trend is people want their garbage out from under the sink and somewhere else where they can have pullouts. Here we have a couple of them. You can divide them, garbage recycling. You could have one side garbage, one side recycling. Again, really whatever your lifestyle needs are. Fill this up. You have a pop can one. You have paper recycling, whatever it needs to be, right?
Exactly. So these are just a few of the fun storage options that we have available. We literally have hundreds of more options. Anything that you find on Pinterest or House or HGTV, we have in our arsenal of options.
That's a good point. I know when we're talking flooring or whatever, people come in with their picture that they want us to recreate. We can certainly do that with all the aesthetics, but also with some sort of function in storage space too. So yeah, whatever those little customized options you want, we can certainly make that happen, right?
Definitely.
Now you wanted to mention real quickly that we do have, this is a functional kitchen, right? So this is probably not how you might design your own space with inset cabinets and overlay and frameless, right? So let's just do an overview of what those look like in person.
Yeah, CFM offers all three of the primary styles: frameless, framed overlay, and a framed inset. Here's an example of a framed inset where the doors are flush with the face frame of the cabinet. This is going to be much more of a Nantucket or colonial styling look, whereas directly next to it we're showing a frameless cabinet where there is no face frame. This will tend to be more of a contemporary or transitional styling choice. And then,
this is where you make it really modern too, if you wanted to change the door style.
Right. And what you'll notice is that the distance between the doors and the drawers is only about 1/8 of an inch. And really it's that super sleek, super modern, really tight look, definitely in the contemporary styling.
Or more traditional with your overlay cabinet.
The most popular cabinet on the market is a full overlay door, where there's a face frame around the cabinet and then the door literally sits on top of the face frame, compared to the inset that is flush with the face frame, or a frameless cabinet that has no face frame. This is definitely the most traditional style of cabinet on the market. The distinctive difference is that the gapping between the doors is closer to about 1/2 of an inch compared to 1/8 of an inch. Honestly, the majority of cabinets are here. Most people don't even notice the styling. But if you have a very distinct style that you want to go to, we have options.
Or do you utilize the space any better with a frameless?
Frameless does give you about 1 to 3% more real estate room inside of the cabinet. So if you have a really small space, a condo, an apartment, where every square inch of storage matters, then frameless is probably where we want to go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot more we could go through, but wanted to show some of those storage options, get the creative juices flowing. If you have any questions, certainly reach out to us. We're happy to help put some designs together, and we just really look forward to the opportunity to work with you on some cabinetry. So with that, we'll see you next time. Be safe and have a great day, guys.
Thanks.